Hello, everybody. It's Lori Jo Vest, and this is Pop Speed Digital Marketing's Hot Take Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday at 10 o'clock to talk about what's on our minds. Sometimes it's marketing, sometimes it's pop culture. Today, it's ChatGTP. So I've got with me three other members of our team, Molly Wagner, Kylie Metcalf, and Darth Sarah, or Sarah Shock, whichever you care to call her. And we're talking Chat GTP. So I'm going to let you get started, Kylie, because
Yeah,
you are the leader of these slide presentations. You put them together for us every week. So I let you introduce it. Here we go.
perfect. So we're talking today specifically about ChatGPT and its place on social. And we have some big opinions on the matter that I think could be considered hot takes from what we're seeing other people in social media marketing doing. So our three big things are a copywriter can always tell. We'll dive in a little bit that, but I think it's kind of self-explanatory. It has its benefits somewhere. For us, we're not sure that place is social. And I guess like our overarching hot take is we don't really think it's there yet when it comes to chat GPT and specifically using it for captions on social media.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we've seen people doing it. And what I find really interesting is I love Chat GTP. I love to play
Mhm.
with it. I love to, it's a great ideation tool. But when you say a copywriter can always tell, if you're a copywriter and you see things out there in the wild, for example, social media posts,
Mhm.
ChatGTP is not the best tool for that. And I'll tell you why. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I know we've all played with it, but what it does constantly is let's go on a journey to adventure to
Yeah.
find out about this. And it gives you
Very
all of these
fluffy. Yeah.
unnecessary words. Very, very, very fluffy. And
Yeah.
tons of just unnecessary language that gets in the way of your reader getting your message. So
Yeah. I think that's I mean in my thoughts about it, I think too much fluff, too many words and a little bit too pristine is kind of
yeah,
my way about it. Something that we'll often say is that social media is just that. It's social. It should be conversational. It should be, if
yep,
you read it back to yourself and it's not how you would speak, it might not be the best for social. And
yeah,
shorter is always better. And that's one place where I think that it falls kind of short. It gives you too much. It makes it a little too pretty, a little too formal. Um,
yeah,
so I think for us, we know most people don't talk the way that Chat GPT will talk to you via social. So I think that's what we
yeah,
mean when we say that a good copywriter can always tell. It's not
yeah,
really what we think about writing and like putting out into the world via our brands. So yeah.
yeah. Yeah, for our clients, I mean, we use it for ideation, for outlines, things like that. But Molly, you
Mhm.
look like you have something to say.
Yeah, yeah. I like I agree with everything that has been said thus far, but it's so interesting like scrolling through like LinkedIn on any given day and seeing like that's a really fluffy long caption. That does not look like something that was written by a human
Yeah,
being.
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's just interesting the way that like some other brands and agencies are kind of starting to rely on it a little too heavily, especially because
Yeah.
yeah,
it's for
yeah,
us, it definitely is just not there yet. I think it's a good tool,
yeah.
but it should never, especially where it is now, it should not replace a copywriter.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. And I see a lot of what I find just so intriguing is that people will post something with a paragraph long caption. Our most successful posts, I had one for an industrial kind of automotive related client that did probably 4,500 organic reach on LinkedIn and like 300 click throughs. I mean, it was amazing what happened to this post. And it was one sentence and a link
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
then the hashtags. And that was it. Because
Yeah.
if you make people read a paragraph while they're skimming through social, who has time to read a paragraph or two paragraphs? and lots of flowery language. They want to get to the message. And I'll talk again about this book that we're reading. I think I've talked about it in the last 3 hot takes. Smart Brevity. Smart Brevity.
The best.
Yeah.
We don't want to, I'm going to use Kylie's term here. We don't want to burn a lot of mental calories reading your social caption. And if it's got lots and lots of flowery language, then you're going to lose your audience and they're just going to keep going. So,
Yeah.
Sarah, do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, it's one of those things that I used to think. I'm actually a fiction writer on the side. And there's this thing where if you write a book, you get to pitch if you want to go through like a traditional publishing. So like to agents and that sort of a thing. And what I learned is everything that comes to social or these type of things are like a speed dating kind of a process. You want to let them know what you're thinking, who you are, why you're special, or in a circumstance within like maybe I would say like 2-3 sentence tops. And anything beyond that, it just we're not so capable of listening to people, or I'm not capable of listening to people for more than like 10 seconds with full on concentration.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a speed dating. You really want to get to your point, ASAP to get the hook. And then once that relationship is established, that's something you can, look into. And I think it evolves into things like blogs or this or that. But in general, social, like you don't go to the bar and say, it is with my greatest pleasure that I would like to introduce you to
Exactly.
Myself.
Right. Exactly.
You want to say hi, I'm Sarah, nice to meet you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of the take that I think a lot of people mistaken that the longer the better, but it really isn't. If you think about the other person, it's shorter the better, with impact.
And you always should think about your audience whenever you put anything on social. And I think a lot of people don't do that.
100%. I was just going to say that's like, I think that came out of our reading of Smart Brevity. And I can't remember which chapter it was, but in one of the chapters, it says smart brevity writing is unselfish. It's inherently unselfish writing. Just because you have a lot you think that you want to say, or you think somebody should hear, it's really piecing it down in an intelligent way and strategically for sure, but in a way where you're putting the reader first. Whoever's digesting it, you're putting their needs and what they may have time for ahead of what you want to say, which I think is a really, really good point that ChatGPT just does not have. And kind of leading into another point with that, it really takes the humanization aspect out of writing because we don't speak like that. So it kind of takes away that human element of social in particular.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a reminder, the way ChatGPT gets its data is by scraping the internet. So what you're getting is a conglomeration of all the words that are out there up until the date that it stopped scanning, which I think is 2022. It's not always accurate. If you're using it to write blog posts, the information in those blog posts might be completely wrong. And you might not know that if you don't go out and do the research. And I'm sorry, but if you're using ChatGTP to write a blog article, you're probably not going to go out and do the research to make sure it's accurate. Just don't do it. I mean, I really just think it's something that we shouldn't do beyond maybe, moving to the next point. What value does it have? It has a lot of value, in my opinion, in giving you outlines, in giving you different ways to come at a topic. Sometimes you're looking at, you've got, for example, I'll tell a story that I think is really funny, is one of Molly's first projects with us, poor thing, was writing carpet descriptions, SEO optimized descriptions of 4,000 different luxury carpets. And it was, let me tell you, we'd have 50 or 100 that were the exact same style, maybe different colors, maybe a little bit different pattern. And we used an AI tool called Jasper that was popular a few years back, and put the different descriptors, what the carpet looked like, what the pattern was, and what it was made of, and then it would spit back a description or 5 or 6 descriptions. We could pick the one with the angle that we liked, rewrite it, and put it in. And it really helped us be efficient in something like that. We were describing 4,000 different. Molly, you said people were asking you, like, what are you doing for a living? And you're like,
yeah, I I have a very vivid memory of working at a coffee shop with two of my friends who were in med school. And they were
Oh
like,
God.
"Oh, like, what are you doing at your new job?" And I was like, writing like thousands of carpet descriptions." And the two of them were like, "Huh?" But yeah, I will say Chat GPT is, it's remarkable how much better AI has gotten
Yeah,
since
Yeah.
a
using
lot.
Jasper, but it
Yeah.
still isn't there yet. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
but yeah,
I
It's
think,
not. Yeah.
it definitely has its benefits,
yeah.
and especially for like efficiency reasons. And
Yeah.
I will say, even for me, like if I'm getting writer's block and I just need like, okay, how do I say this differently than I've been saying it? Like a
Yeah.
social post or something like, and I'll throw it in Chat GPT and it'll give me like
An
something to work
idea.
with, and then
Right.
I'll
Yes.
go in and rewrite it and trim it down.
Right.
100%. I think that's like, I think ideation 100% is for me too, like where I find myself using it most. I think
Yeah,
because writer's block is real. And for
yeah.
us, and like when it, let's, just speaking in terms of social for me, when for me, some of these clients that we work with, I've worked with now, like with Lori for 3.5 years going on. And a
Mhm.
lot of the time, like the messages that we find ourselves saying, a lot has changed in that time, but the premise and the mission and the heart of the certain brands has stayed entirely the same. So how for
Yeah.
3.5 years, you say the same thing differently, more fresh,
Yeah.
with all of these changes in mind. And it's normal and very, very, I mean, like it'd be weird, I think, if the opposite were true, that you don't run out of ideas sometimes, right? So you don't necessarily want to use ChatGPT to do the work for you, but it can help you be efficient and not waste
Right.
time sitting in front of your computer just kind of twiddling your thumbs like, what do I want to
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
go find ideas, go, use AI to support you getting to that point,
Hmm.
but you
Yeah.
don't necessarily have to allow it to do the work for you.
Right. Yeah,
Amen.
it does make outlines easier. If you've
Yes.
got just a topic, and there are times when, we're doing a lot of SEO blogs for someone, and we may be covering the same topic in 3 different blogs
Right.
and with different keywords. If you can go into ChatGPT and say, give me an outline for this article with this SEO keyword, and here's our audience, they can give you a nice outline that you may need to adjust it, but
Yeah.
it can give you ideas you may not have thought of. And I think that's really valuable in social. And I'm going to just sidestep here a little bit, because one of the things that we like to recommend our clients do, so here's a social media tip, is to always have some what we call 101 content in your social calendar. And that means my organization, it's what are we about? What do we do? How do we serve our clients? That kind of information should be in your social calendars regularly for the
Yeah.
new people that come along, and also to
Mhm.
make sure that your existing audience knows all the different aspects of your organization, not just the one that they think of or utilize.
Yeah.
So ChatGTP can be really great for when you have to say the same thing 16 different ways over 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really help you with those angles.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
and the last slide, Kylie, what are we talking
Yeah.
about here?
So ultimately, just kind of to wrap it up, I think our hot take on Chat GPT is it's a great tool. It's a helpful tool in terms of using it to write your social content. It's not there for us. I think we hold ourselves to a standard where we know conversation is best. We know we want to write similar to how we speak. Obviously, there's some differences, but you get the idea. And we we as an agency are really about, and you'll hear us say it time and time again, the human behind the brand and
Mhm.
being social and standing out by fitting in. And to us, we think that ChatGPT on social specifically kind of puts a bit of a dent in that bridge almost. I
Yeah.
think it takes away a little bit of that real authentic connection from between consumer and brand. And for us, that's really one of the top priorities of what we do is building that bridge.
Yeah.
So you won't find us putting out captions with just very obvious chat GPT language, maybe unless it were April Fool's. I don't know. That might be a good idea for
Maybe.
next year. But
Yeah.
but yeah, you won't see that from us. It's not quite there yet, in our opinion.
Yeah. And the other, just a quick addition here, if you're using it for blogs, and articles on your website. Google did an update to their whatever it is that you call those, not their algorithm, but whatever it is that determines what goes into Google search. And they are actually delisting content that they see as being AI generated. So if you're using it to write your blogs, stop doing that. It will not help you. You might as well not do blogs if you're using ChatGTP, because Google is detecting that and actually delisting those pages so that they will not show up in search. So interesting take. Anybody have anything else to add before we drop off here? Nope.
I'm good.
All right, guys. Well, this is today's Hot Take Tuesday for you. We will see you again in next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Thanks for joining us. Please reach out if we can help you with your digital marketing, your social media, your blog articles, your website development and maintenance. We also do email marketing. So reach out to us. We're all open networkers on LinkedIn. We also have a contact form at our website that you can go there and take a peek and give us the check in with us there, reach out, let us know what you need, how we can help. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hi, everybody.
Everyone.
Bye.